In this video, I'm going to be bringing you along on my trip to visit Rainman Ray and Bearded Ford Tech in Florida. I am driving from Seattle, Washington, all the way down to about Tampa, Florida, doing some stops along the way. Alright, just a little bathroom break in Montana. Just checking on things. Kind of curious. Instead of charging the power bank and running the fridge off my 12-volt plug, been running it in here. Oh yeah, we're at 100%. I always like to check everything too when I'm walking around, like check these turnbuckles. Seems like they're pretty good. Trailer's staying on. Truck's running good. Coupler's still in. Lights are still plugged in. Chains are still on. All right, let's get back on the road. You want more water? Is that what this is about? I know I gotta give you some more water. So my initial premise of doing this trip was to get my upper oil pan fixed, and then some stuff kind of got tacked on. When I originally planned the trip, I wasn't working with Freedom Campers, and now I am, and they're based in Lamar, Missouri, and so I'm actually going to pick up a different trailer to kind of test out and make videos with. And then on my way, I'm going to stop in Denver because my brother lives there. We're just going to tweak a few things on the truck. And then I have another stop I'm going to do after Missouri. I'm going to stop in Mississippi, and I'm going to be showing the campers to one of Redneck Outdoors blind dealers, the guy he sells a lot of blinds, and we want to see if we can get him selling the campers too. So yeah, all that before I get to Florida. Okay, we just stopped in, or I should say stopped outside of Bozeman, Montana. Been driving for about 10 hours, and I think we're gonna try to drive at least until dark. Dark here is like 10 p.m., so it's like 7 o'clock now. The truck has been running really well. I've been averaging about 15 miles per gallon with the trailer, so it brought my overall average down since fixing the exhaust from about 17.1 down to like 16.4. So all in all, pretty solid. I'm just trying to get, like I said, as far close to Denver tonight as I can, and then we'll stop and sleep, and then try to get up early and get there so I can do truck things tomorrow. All right, we're at Love's, which is probably my favorite place to stop and sleep. It's just a lot easier because they have fuel and usually some half decent food. It's not great, but it's okay when you're on the road. And I just kind of went through my nighttime routine. I usually will feed Mia first, but I've fed her earlier, and then I'll take her out and then just go brush my teeth and get ready for bed. So I'll show you the sleeping setup quick, but yeah, gonna crash trying to get to Denver tomorrow before 4 p.m. And for anyone wondering why I'm not sleeping in the camper, because it's longer, this one's a little shorter. I like the privacy at a truck stop of being up above the ground a little bit more. Everything's locked. Go head in here. Hello, little dog. And for the sleeping setup, I have my raised platform kind of set up like I normally do. Power supply that's running the fan is under the bed, and fridge is over there. I'm gonna climb in. What a jackass. All right, It is the next morning. Slept pretty well. It's about 6:30. Just fed the little dog, and I've had a lot of people ask me what this thing is. It actually helps lower your heart rate, but it's one of those breathing strips, and yes, it actually does work. I found I feel a lot less groggy when I wake up, and I sleep a lot more deeply with it on, and so I wear it at night, but occasionally I'll wear it during the day. I find when I'm in Denver, just because there's a lot less oxygen, it helps a ton. But I've heard folks that have sleep apnea can use these and see a lot of benefit from it instead of having to get one of the machines. So, yeah, I don't know. All right, we got fuel, and now we got about 7 hours left to get to Denver. It's 510 miles, so should be pretty quick. Just going through the rest of Montana and Wyoming and then Colorado. It's a hot one. It was a hot one yesterday. Just stopped for a quick bathroom break at a little parking area. But yeah, we're out here. Wyoming, north of Colorado, about 4 hours. So gonna hop back in, keep going. Just want to stretch the legs quick. Oh, truck's running good though. Keep her rolling. Yeah, it's hot all right. Here's what temps we're running. Not too bad, just putzing around. Doing a few hour stop in Denver at the shop that my brother and I share. He helped me do a few things on the truck, and it's about 102. So it's definitely not super cold out, but so anyway, you've probably seen him before on the channel. This is Oliver. Oliver has two, I don't know, they're both projects. They're both projects with a diesel. It's now a 1.9. He just engine swapped that. He just engine and axle swapped the van, and now it needs another engine. Three.
Man, engines are garbage.
Dang.
Yeah, so I actually just finished four-wheel drive converting this. Kind of part one was like, I pulled the transmission that's in it, and then you have to basically take everything out of the transmission to swap your tail shaft to a different size, and then put it all back in, and then connect your transfer case and make room for it. So that was like part one of the project. And then part two is kind of getting the front axle in, and that went pretty well. I had to play with my steering geometry a little bit to actually make it drive all right, because it's my first time solid axle swapping something. And putting in that truss is pretty regrettable, because now I don't have as much up travel. But aside from that, it looks cool.
And you could jump your van and the axle won't snap.
That's very true. We'll just bottom out really bad. Yeah, and then I 3-linked it, which is kind of the other part of why it's vaguely interesting, but basically is 1, 2, and a third up top. So what's 3-link versus like 4-link? Like, I know some people will do another link over on this side to like balance it out. So it just depends on how it works.
Okay.
A 3-link's easier to fit.
Okay.
A 4-link is more redundant.
Okay.
And then like radius arms like you have in your truck are simpler, but you change your like pinion and caster angles as you flex.
Yeah, okay.
Basically.
Gotcha.
Anyways, and it doesn't even work because my gears are wrong, so I get to re-gear it next weekend.
In addition to putting in a new 5.4.
Oh yes, and a new motor.
There's two potential options to the van in consideration, and it makes me feel like a super whiny for just complaining about needing to seal an oil pan on the truck, but you don't like the rust, so you were thinking about body swapping it with an 80s Econoline.
Yeah. Or honestly, just the same year is probably the thing to do.
Yeah.
I think body swapping it with an 80s, while sick, would be a massive headache. So.
Yeah. Well, then the other thing you were thinking is maybe diesel swapping it to either a 12 valve or the OM606 Mercedes, which would be
all of which
sick.
I cannot pay for, so.
Yes, that's how she goes. And this is the garage. I guess we could call it a shop, but I keep a few tools here, but it's mostly Oliver's space.
Right now I have my van kitchen in pieces because I'm redoing it.
Look, a sink.
This is the old...
The 1.9, you can't say 1.6 anymore.
No, you can't say 1.6. I just have it covered up so I don't get judged in my injector holes. But it's nice.
It does look pretty.
There you go.
Wow. And this currently is a single, what size turbo is it? It's a
GT2256 variable geometry turbo on here.
Yeah. So
and that's all working. I just have the injectors out because it wasn't getting enough fuel.
We needed bigger injectors.
More power. Yeah.
More power, baby.
Turns out direct injection's a pain in the balls.
Hmm.
Because the old indirect injection, you just didn't ever have to change your injectors. They would just keep adding fuel. It was great.
Yeah.
But, once you get that sorted, it should be pretty trackable, I think.
Sick. Yeah, and if you need your 6.7 work done and you're in Colorado, it's your guy. He'll do mobile appointments. Maybe not anymore, but anywho. Yeah, so that's the Oliver's shop tour. And yeah, I basically am just stopping in Denver because we had to do a few things on the truck, and it was kind of on the way to Lamar. Not sort of. It was like an hour out of my way to come this way. It was either this way or I keep going on 90 and go to like...
Lightly, highly out of the way.
Yeah, lightly. So anyway, we're in Denver for a few hours. Probably going to go get some Mexican food. And then I'm going to keep driving and probably camp somewhere. But it's hot as Hades, so I think...
The clouds are putting in work right now.
I know, they are putting in work. Yeah, I'm going to go probably drive until like 11 until it gets cool out. And then try to sleep for a little bit. So
Smart, man.
see you back on the road. $42 gallons for $134, $5. Really not bad. Colorado definitely knows how to do the diesel prices. Hays, Kansas. I feel like it's probably the biggest stop outside of when you get to Kansas City. It's really windy today. Well, I guess not that windy for Kansas. It's like 30-mile-an-hour gusts-ish. So I don't know. Sometimes I like really want to get to wherever I'm going, and it's one of those things where you just like you don't really care what your fuel economy is, and so you just blast. When I was hauling trailers, I used to drive 65 pretty much everywhere because it just was easier on the old fuel tank. But I definitely find, regardless of whether you're running a completely stock 6.7 setup or a tune setup or you have a truck that doesn't have emissions, like through Kansas you're getting 14 to 12 miles per gallon, and I've never gotten anything different just because of the wind. This is what you need right here. I'm actually staying with one of the folks from Redneck Outdoors, Freedom Campers tonight. I'm gonna camp in their yard, but we are pretty close to Lamar. Well, it's definitely been a wild couple of hours. I came down, I got into Lamar yesterday and met with the folks at Freedom Campers and picked up a new rig that they built out for us to take to shows and stuff. So it's not mine, you'll see it in the video, and I do get to sleep in it and stuff, but it's technically the company's setup, but I will definitely do a video tour of it. But yeah, I slept in a field by a pond last night, and it was really pretty. I didn't really get any shots of it because it was kind of a whirlwind. Like I was moving all my stuff over, and then I got in the bed and just crashed. Got up at 4, had to pack up everything, rearrange some stuff, and now we're on the road headed to a dealer for Freedom Campers. So that's like one of the things I do is I'm a contractor for them, but I mostly do video work, and that's kind of what I've been doing since 2023. But in a past life I did a lot of sales, and especially when I got out of school. And so for Freedom Campers I also kind of work in a sales capacity, just because I've spent so many nights sleeping in the camper, and they like the fact that I use the shit out of it. So yeah, they have me go talk to prospective dealers, current dealers, kind of explain to them what the benefits are, what I like about it, who they should recommend it for. So yeah, I'm kind of being a grease man for them at the moment, doing a little bit of everything, which I enjoy. It keeps things interesting. Just crossed into Arkansas, had a good meeting at the dealer, did some filming. Sportsland in Rogersville, Missouri is our newest camper dealer, and so we were kind of onboarding them, dropping some campers off, some marketing materials. We're going to be doing some posts that you'll probably have already seen if you follow Freedom Camper social media. But yeah, it was a good visit. They have everything at that place. It's kind of cool. They do like tonneau covers, truck caps, they do tents, they now do Freedom Campers, they have trailers, like utility, dump trailers, goosenecks. Dang, what else they have? They sell e-bikes, they have Ferris lawnmowers. Alright, Little Rock, rolling through. I've been here once before. I flew in for one day. It was heinous. I flew Boston to Little Rock. I had, in the morning, I think my flight left at like 6 a.m. or 5 a.m. and then I got home at midnight. And I flew into the day because that was when I was slinging software licenses, and I don't even remember the name of the company we were pitching, but I just flew in for a day, did the pitch, disappeared, and I don't think we got that deal, so yep. But never actually actually done like touristy things here. I mean, we had pretty decent barbecue. I remember the client got it catered, so can't hate that, but I don't know. Sometimes on trips like this, when I'm driving a shit ton, it's like I wish I had more time to like stop and see places, but it's also 97 degrees out, and to be truthful, I don't really want to even leave the air conditioning that badly. Just had the coolest experience, man. I was driving by on 65 and past this little RV park, and it's super hard to see right now, but you know, it's been storming a little bit, and I was gonna go to a Love's another hour down the road, and I just drove past the park. It looked really nice, just in this grove of oak trees, and so I turned around on a whim and came back. There was no one in the office, so I called, and the owner is this amazing guy named Dale, who has a 1965 F100 with the original engine, and he has owned that pickup truck since his dad bought it for him when he was 16 years old. And he's bought this park, restored it. It's called the Little RV Park of Transylvania, and right off of 65, you can't miss it. There's a bunch of other bigger trailers here. It's really hard to see right now, obviously, but I will do more of a walk around tour tomorrow. But it honestly restores your faith in humanity, because I think especially these days, it's really easy to get super negative. And you know, this guy, he's worked at a machine shop for 34 years, working on small engines and like lawn and garden and tractors. And you know, he's lived in the same community he grew up in, and just, you know, just a good man. And honestly, it's just so refreshing to meet people like that. I'm honestly kind of having trouble to find the words. And like, the park is as neat as a pin. I'll show more tomorrow, but it's called the Little RV Park at Transylvania. So if you are driving 65 north or south, just stop here, because it's an amazing place. So this is the new setup. I haven't really talked about it a lot because it was a whirlwind going to get it, but you know, same Freedom camper, just mounted on a 6x12 trailer. Of course, I need the key. That would be helpful. Excuse me. Little dog, do you want your dinner? I have to put this donut, it's an inflatable donut, on my because Mia, when she's left alone, will tend to scratch her face. So, anywho, this is kind of what we're dealing with. You see the AC unit up there. It's got the controls on a panel, so that's been dope. So I'm gonna feed Mia here, and yeah, we've been hanging out here for the day. I had to do some work, but it's been nice to just relax for a bit and not actually be driving for once. Hey, so this is the inside of the setup. You can see, I don't have this plugged in yet, but there's a fan here. I got window covers. There's a light up here. Then the air conditioner actually has its, I have a remote for it, but the display panel's right there. And then, yeah, I got Mia's bed down there. Is that right? Little water jug back there. A pillow and a blanket and a 3-inch foam pad. That's pretty much all I run, you know, and it works good. Honestly, having the AC is a big improvement too, because I wasn't going to run AC for this trip, and then got this showcase rig from Freedom Campers, and they were super nice to let me take it on the road trip. And I'm obviously doing some work for them too, but it's like unbelievable to have air conditioning. Hey, what are you doing? Hold on, I gotta put my stuff away. Right. So I showed a little bit last night, but this is the park, and you know, it's definitely not big. but you'll see back around the corner there, they've got a little gazebo, pole barn type thing with picnic tables. He's got the trash right there. This is the office. He's got a washer and dryer and a bathroom. Super clean. His office is back there. 3 bays. And it's right along Highway 65. And here's the sign. I'll try to put a link to the Google listing so y'all can find it if you need to, but it's a beautiful spot. I mean, you're in the middle of a cornfield here, and you know, it's just real pretty, real quiet. I mean, there's road noise, but if you've camped, you're probably pretty used to road noise. And you know, I was saying the other night, the guy that runs this he has a day job. He's been at the same small engine shop. They do tractor engines as well, up to, he said, like 40 horsepower, but same engine shop for 34 years. I guess before that he did dirt work. He did dirt moving. He worked for a company that built a lot of the interstates, built the interstate highway system, and he was eyeing this spot for a while, and I guess the people that owned it had let it kind of fall into disrepair, and so he bought them out and, you know, just turned it into this gorgeous space. So, and he just, you know, an amazing human being, incredibly welcoming, you know, just unbelievable, really. I can't say enough good things about this place. So I mean, I decided to take a break for the day and stay here for another night just to rest and relax today, because it was just, you know, it was so well worth it. It sure beats the hell out of sleeping at a truck stop, I'll tell you what. For anyone curious, this is about how loud the air conditioner is on the inside here. It's sitting right on top of the roof, and just cut a hole and have to seam it up, but I'll let you listen. You can see how noisy it is. I think it's time for bed, so I'm gonna head that direction, but tomorrow we got 12 hours to drive, and then we are going to be at Rainman Rays, so excited to spend tomorrow night and then Monday through Wednesday there before I hit the road again, but gonna hang out with him and Bearded Ford Tech and hopefully get this upper oil pan leak sorted. So whew, it'll be a big project, but we'll get it done. Just in time for sunrise. All right. Gonna say goodbye to the little RV park of Transylvania. It was a fun 2 nights, like a little vacation. Right now, this is a vacation. Didn't have to constantly be moving. This town, man, it's like south of the RV park, like 30 minutes, and man, it's rough. It's kind of wild. Like, I've seen towns that have been in a rough shape. It's kind of ubiquitous, but down here it's really weird. It's like towns are like half, like some of the houses are in good repair, looks like someone's living there, you know, like nice place. And then the other half, both commercial and like residential homes, are they're straight up like abandoned. It's wild. It's like just like half the people just like up and left, half the businesses up and left. Yeah, I mean, some of these houses like have trees growing in them. You know, they've probably been sitting there for like 20 years, just completely vacant. And then there's places like this bank looks completely normal. And then on the other side of this I don't know if they call them canals down here or what, but man, this one over here is a wild one. This is a high school, completely abandoned. Like, there's like trees growing out the roof, and there's trees growing in like the old football stadium. The lights are still there. Next to this Baptist church that's like well cared for. It's so wild. I just crossed into Florida.
Wow.
So, yeah, I was in Alabama. So I did, what is it, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama, now Florida.
Yeah, you're good.
I'm on I-10 East and just got stuck in some traffic, and looks like it was kind of gnarly. It's been raining on and off, and I don't know, maybe this truck wasn't paying attention. It's interesting with the big rigs, like a lot of the accidents I see, it's like, you know, driver wasn't paying attention or fell asleep, you know, because they were exhausted and they end up going off the road. Like, he definitely, that's spooky. Yeah, smoked that tree. That is gnarly. He's not in there anymore, so they're doing the recovery. But that must have just happened a little bit ago. Man, I hope he's good. Good morning. Oh, had a not too late of a drive. Got in about 10:30 last night. Got bearded Ford tech in front of me. We're driving in to the shop this morning. We're gonna get this thing up on a lift and get it apart. Interested to see what we find. Big shout out to Rainman Ray for hosting me and letting us use a lift in his shop. It's really nice of him. And yeah, I don't know, I'll definitely film as much of this as I can. I know that Bearded Ford Tech is gonna have a video on his channel, like more explaining the ins and outs of pulling out the pan. I'm just gonna time lapse it so you can see, and then I have another video I'll be doing on what we find in the oil pan, because I've gotten a lot of comments about how I'm running different brands of oils and weights of oils, and how it's going to cause sludge and it's going to screw up my motor, and how I'm a terrible person because of it. So we're actually going to look, and we're going to see if there's any sludge in the bottom of my pan. And yeah, I'm pretty curious to see too. All right, so we made it to Ray's shop, and we got Bearded Ford Tech back there. We're getting all set up, disconnected the batteries, verified a couple things, and yeah, we're gonna dig in, hopefully get this off. I'm curious to see just how much of a pain it is, but stoked to be at Ray's shop, and yeah, we're gonna get after it.
But it's out of the way, so.
Okay, so that'll probably fall when we get the trains out there, right?
Yeah.
right, there it is. She's looking real clean. The dealer who resealed my pan did a trash job. So yeah, don't get your pan resealed at the dealer. There's like globs of sealant all over the place. But I mean, she's clean. Highway miles, 10,000 mile oil changes, good synthetic, get you a long way. That is for sure. All right, day 2. Bearded Ford Tech has gotten the pan in. We stuck 2011 pan in there, the gasket. It's nice and clean. We're gonna clean up underneath, and then still got to get the transmission back in. But it's looking good. Just so much cleaner. Got Mishimoto's the OEM Ford oil cooler there, and then just sits right up in there, and I'm excited to not have this be all covered in oil. Big shout out to Troy and Bearded Ford Tech and everyone who helped with this. So I ended up doing the transmission filter too. That and the fluid had only been in there 25,000 miles, but it was here, so figured do it, and then I don't have to worry about it. New filter, new lower pan, so nice and clean. And then that upper pan mates in right here to the bell housing. Had the whole transmission out. Cleaned up everything, cleaned up my stabilizer a bit. New Mishimoto oil cooler. It only has one more row of cooling fins, so it's not like a performance thing. It's just like their OEM version, but it'll be sweet to have that on there. And then yeah, got the starter back up in there, and let's see if we see the pan. Here, there's the front of the pan, and no more oil. So rubber gasket in there. It was really like went in really clean, and I'm just stoked to have this thing back together and the leak sealed up.
Alright, fuel filters are prime, fire in the hole.
River's looking pretty full.